I've got about 40 miles worth of chat. Oh boy, should I really confess? Oh, no one's listening. Let's see, it was 1985. My friend and I were having fun on 11 meters, and we ran into some folks that just got their licenses, and we got introduced to auto patches, 2 meters, and handhelds. Need I say more?
Oh man, that's yeah. I was young. It was 1993, and I got introduced to an auto patch via a handheld 2 meter, and hooked. I was hooked. Oh man, so much fun. Just radio is a good time. Is that what it was, or was there a prior introduction like shortwave or anything?
No, I was aware of shortwave and everything, but it really didn't intrigue me. All I wanted was 2 meter phone. That's all I wanted. I wanted my technician and 2 meter phone. And then, once I got there, and it was about 1999, I can't say a friend, because at the time I never met the guy. A guy heard me lamenting on a 2 meter repeater because I found out about the Portland 2 meter, 6 meter sideband net every Monday night, and all I had was FM. So he brought over a FT767 to let me borrow. Well, it never got back to him. It's been in my shack since 1999.
Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? Well, very good, man. It's been a pleasure to meet you, too. That's nice. Thanks for sharing that bit of story. Do you have, like, a favorite mode or anything there, Jeffrey, over?
I don't know. The one that we can communicate. I'm not into contesting. I'm not into data. I'm not into QRP. I don't know. I'm a rag chewer.
Very good, very good. And that mobile setup's clean, man. I'd like to know how you got rid of any type of that AC noise out of there. Right now, I've got an ICOM 705 and just a portable antenna on that thing. But boy, oh boy, it's just any type of ignition noise is still coming down through there. You've got a beautiful mobile signal over.
Well, thank you very much, but it probably has a lot to do with the Cummins under my hood.
Oh, yeah, that would make a bit of difference indeed. Hey, so if there's a group of new hams in front of you, man, like just some generals and some techs, you just met a group of new hams, you got any advice for a new ham today?
Well, I'm not sure. If they have a license, if they have a call already, then they've already done it. Get into it and just have fun. Okay, that's probably the thing. Every time I talk to a new ham, even people that I work with, they get their licenses. They which I don't have a problem with research. But when it comes to HF antennas, people want to buy this and they want to buy that, and this says this. It's like, this is amateur radio. Make one. Well, actually, you know what, Sean? If you go to my QRZ page, I did post that last week, the last picture, my fan dipole that I made. Now, mind you, that fan dipole, I told you about the manufactured homes. Well, they take the wheels and the hitches and the axles when they go, but they leave the wires from one end to another for the brake lights and turn signals. Well, guess who picked all that wire up? Well, I pulled it all apart, soldered and heat shrunk it together, spooled it up in one thing and one roll. Then that's what made my HF antenna.
That is so cool. Yeah, wow. I never thought about that wire, but I bet they got no other need for it. So, and you put forth the effort. I'm looking at it. We're looking at it right now, and something to show off indeed. Got it up in the trees and working good. Probably sounds just as good or better than this mobile signal you got. Very impressive mobile signal. Hey, so if you had a chance to, sorry, I'm chatting too much. If you had a chance to say something about the future of ham radio, what's the future of ham radio? The future of ham radio is question mark.
That's about what I'm going to have to say, is leave it right there, because we don't know what's going to happen. But I do know one thing, and that's kind of why I put the Alinco and the Hustler back to work. It was in my car before. Oh, and that's a sore subject. I sold the Mark IIG. I never should have done that. Anyway, I put this all in here because I have a feeling we're going to need point-to-point communication. Probably within the next year or so.
You think because of solar activity?
No, because of globalist activity.
Yeah, I know there's some funny ripples in the muff map, isn't there?
Well, you know, they're already doing all you know what's going on, the censorship. Mysteriously, over 90 food processing plants have burned down. Now diesel's going to become scarce. This is the Bolshevik war all over again. They're going to try to starve us out.
Boy, oh boy, Doomsday Radio at its finest indeed. Hey, so, along that subject matter, I had posted something on I think it was Facebook. I haven't made the YouTube video about it yet. Where, they're talking about those drones over in the Ukraine coming from Iran and whatnot, like blowing it off nonchalant, like, they're swarm drones and blah, blah, blah. But what they really passed over real quick, was these drones have a sensor in them that if it catches a transmitter, and I don't know if it's specific or broad range, it could be either one, I would imagine. But if it catches a transmitter, it'll just high hover and then come in and dive on a transmitter, which, don't get me wrong, is a scary thought when you really think about it, and just wild on the other side. But to think about being unsafe to even be able to communicate the way we do, I think that would finally be the spark, right? The straw that breaks the camel back. What do you think there, Over?
Well, it depends. All the American sheep have their heads in the sand. They don't see the writing on the wall. With this whole fiasco in San Francisco with Paul Pelosi, I think it's just another false flag. They're trying to gain more control. And if people don't see it, they just keep giving over their freedoms and until it's all gone.
It's only some of them, I should say. Only a few do, because, everything else is done on hostility. You just got to have the balls enough to be hostile to get it done. And that's the bottom line of things, man. Everything, you can talk about Hallelujah this and Gandhi that and Be Nice this and Martin King this and any type of peaceful anything, and every one of them, including Kennedy, and both of them were shot. They're all shot. So it makes no difference how well you ramp up anything. What makes a difference is if you've got guts enough to take them out. And unfortunately, that even being said is like a threat to whatever. And yeah, that's where reality needs to set in and go, yeah, what I've said probably threatens you because you're scared. And that's where the conversation needs to continue rather than be shut down. I'll get myself in trouble if I'm not careful. November 7, Echo Charlie Victor.
K7NUT. Well, that's okay. They're pontificating all what they think, so I think we can too. But the only thing, Sean, that has kept America somewhat free, or we're still milling around, is the fact that we own guns. Australia, they've been nothing but kicking themselves in the butt for turning those over, because you see what happens. But that's really the only thing that's saving us right now, is all of us, we're all just a bunch of extremists and rednecks, and we have a lot of guns.
And they're scared, which is ridiculous. The other side of things is, as a society, man, when all that garbage was going down and nobody was buying any gas. Gas dropped down to 99 cents a gallon out here, and we pay a 67-cent per gallon tax on top of everything. So 99 cents, gas was 30-something cents a gallon retail down here because nobody bought it for a week, man. If we could bond together as a society, I don't even have to like you, man. You can forget to pull your pants up and wear your hat all stupid with a label on it and whatever anybody wants to do. But as a society, if we could just bond together to go, yo, bro, let's not buy gas for 4 days and watch it drop $1 and then prove to everybody the control we have again, which they've called us consumers now, right? Consumer, which is cool. I don't have a television and watch TV and stuff like that, so I miss out on some things, but not a lot. I just don't get fed it 1,000 times. But there's people just aren't in that mindset. They used to listen, man. 67 cents out of every freaking dollar for gas. All right, well, check this out. On this gallon and 67 cents on this gallon that you're taking from me, you have to tell me where all 67 cents have gone. And nobody can do that. There's not a single person that can do that. And if 100 years ago, we would have drug you out in the street and tarred and feathered you and say, you're going to show me now?
Well, yeah, and that's what's going on in the country right now. But so many people, they're just willfully ignorant. There's all kinds of information out there, but people don't want to dig into it. They just rather, just live my life. Well, you live your life right into a concentration camp. I mean, they're already built. There's a lot of FEMA camps already built, so we'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, no, I know, man. I'm right there with you. I like the Doomsday chatter. I appreciate it. It's what my channel and my life's all about. It's been nice to meet you, Jeffrey. Over.
Oh, well, I'm glad I heard you, Sean. I guess, the good old Ameritrons. I've got an AL80B. You got to go to picture 1 on my site. AL80B in my shack. So, it does real well. But you know what? Since I switched from nights to days, I'm not on the radio out in the shack as much, and that's kind of another reason why I put this radio in the truck. I spend most of my time in the cab.
That's all right. You're just working mobile and having a good time. Tell me about this amplifier. I'm not familiar with it. Over.
The Ameritron AL80B. It's, I guess, a little big brother to the one you're running. But what was? Scatterbrain. Now I don't remember what I was thinking. It's a great amp. I used to have a Dentron. I got to go back and look at my files. I've got the manual for it, but the Ameritron is a heck of a lot better machine, and it does 160, and that's what I wanted as well, is to be able to get 160.
Yeah, copy that. This is plug and play. This little guy here. It's got 4 tubes in it, so it does okay. A little too much drive. I picked up 2 amplifiers the other day for my first amp, and I've got a Commander 2500 sitting behind me, brand new in the box, ready to go in line. I just got to reroute an old hot tub line to get the 220 in the shack, and we'll be rocking and rolling there too. But yeah, so are you working 160 like sideband then?
Oh yes, sir. I run sideband. I have run AM mobile here because I've run into some folks yakking on AM, and I went down there and was chatting with them. But normally, yeah, I run sideband.
Copy that. Yeah, I play all sorts of stuff throughout the day. I chase the bands. I utilize some digital modes to test propagation, and it just began to drive me nuts, man. I could get 10 watts out. I'm a QRP guy mostly all the time, but anyway, I've got an amplifier for nets and stuff, and like I said, I just got this thing, and la-di-da. But anyway, I'll run 10 watts QRP and get spotted around the world, based on conditions, and then come sit on the same band up in the phone portion and call CQ. I did this contest 20 hours and nobody heard me because my signal was just, they were looking for stronger signals. But I've taken first place in contest QRP sideband before, and just sometimes, man, people just don't even care to listen to the little guy anymore. It blows my mind how I can get out there and be heard around the world, man, and just, nope, I'm not doing it. A lot of it's settings on my microphone, too. I think I've got it just about where it needs to be for DX, right about there, I think. I don't know. We'll test it out as the months go by there. I'm still a young ham at heart, man. I've only really been on the air since '07. Over.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I know that I had to make some adjustments. See, back when I had the Mark IIG, the mic gain, you had to play with that if you go from FM to sideband. So, but here on this Alenco, it's a pot inside the radio. So, but everybody says the gain is good. So, I just left it alone.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best thing to do.
I did find out an interesting thing. I've got all the Hustler coils, and just for the heck of it, I've never was a 20-meter guy or 17, and I threw the 17 on there just to tune it up and have that option. My Alenco says OFF. It thinks I'm out of band.
Wow, interesting. Maybe pull one out of there. I want to play with those coils. I've got a screwdriver antenna and some cut end feds and ununs and stuff, but I'd really like to play with some of those Hustler coil sets. That'd be either that, because what I'd like to try to do is, like I say, build a type of hex beam with those and just play with it, let it ride. I'm sure I'd have to tweak it a little bit, but sure would be fun just to have something else out there. I do a little bit of portable stuff and a lot of QRP, most 90% of the time anymore. But just starting to really get the bug into CW too. So I got a paddle coming, and I'll get back to learning CW a little bit. I got tremors, so I really got no choice but to use a paddle when that comes around. That's a good-looking shack you got there, man. It looks like you've been having a good time with radio for a long time. Looks like you got a whole bunch of VHF little Mirages down there. Is that what those are?
Yes, sir. I've got, A, B, C, and D. So 6 meters, 2 meters, 1 1/4, and 70 centimeters. Although I don't have a Mirage for 2 meters. That's a Lunar. And that Lunar amp, oh my gosh, it's a 30 in, 200 out. That thing is a screamer.
Wow, yeah, no doubt. Holy cow, that would be fun. Conditions the way they've been, I'm thinking about firing up my Echolink node either on 2 meter sideband or up on 10 meter FM. And I think 10 meter FM would be a little bit easier in sysop mode to manage. But boy, some of the repeaters start coming in pretty good. You throw an Echolink node up on 10 FM, it kind of keeps it open for people that get hooked on it too.
Oh yeah, well that's where I've met some folks back when, that was over 17 years ago when we moved out of Portland. I met some folks it wasn't IRLP, it was Echolink. He lived in Spokane, no, not Spokane, he moved there. He lived in Tri-Cities, drove UPS from Hermiston basically to Swan Island, Portland, and back every night. And kind of got my feet wet with that, but I haven't done that in a long time.
Right on. Well, it's been nice chatting with you, man. I better let you get your hands on the wheel. I got to stretch my legs for a minute. I appreciate your patience with me and taking the time to say hello.
Yeah, no problem, Sean. Good chatting with you. Alrighty, I will let you go, and I'll get your call again, the suffix. I got the prefix. Get it written down. Maybe I'll run into you again. Anyway, K7NUT. By the way, you've been talking to one of the nuts of Oregon.
Only one, and I know there's a few. I've been working some of them venues down there. I know what goes on around there. Nice to meet you. My call is November 7 Echo Charlie Victor, Sean in Ephrata, Washington. Have a good night, Jeff, and we'll hope to look for you on another band. 7-3.
Alrighty, will do. No, my QRZ page, look at the very top. K7NUT.
Will do. 7-3.